Think you've seen all the royal drama already? Well, think again, because Buckingham Palace just hit absolute rock bottom. Right now, Prince William is reportedly the angriest he has ever been. Why? Because Camilla's daughter just went completely rogue at an exclusive event, throwing massive public shade at Princess Anne. It has started a total wildfire behind the palace walls. If you thought the family feud was handled, brace yourself, because this completely changes the game. Let's break down exactly what went down. To understand why this is such a massive deal, we need to look at who we're dealing with. Princess Anne is legendary for a reason. Inside the palace, everyone knows her as the hardest working royal alive, hands down. She hits over 500 engagements a year, stays entirely out of petty drama, and has spent decades serving the crown with pure dignity. On the flip side, you have Camilla's kids from her previous marriage, Tom and Laura. When Charles and Camilla tied the knot, these two were brought into the wider royal circle. But they aren't working royals. For years, Laura Lopes kept a super low profile, quietly working as an art curator and living a normal, private life. No cameras, no scandals. But that quiet, drama-free reputation? Yeah, that just went completely out the window. Out of nowhere, Laura opened her mouth and said something so toxic about Princess Anne that it drove Prince William into an absolute wall-smashing rage. To understand why this is such a massive deal, we need to look at who we're dealing with. Princess Anne is legendary for a reason. Inside the palace, everyone knows her as the hardest working royal alive, hands down. She hits over 500 engagements a year, stays entirely out of petty drama, and has spent decades serving the crown with pure dignity. On the flip side, you have Camilla's kids from her previous marriage, Tom and Laura. When Charles and Camilla tied the knot, these two were brought into the wider royal circle. But they aren't working royals. For years, Laura Lopes kept a super low profile, quietly working as an art curator and living a normal, private life. No cameras, no scandals. But that quiet, drama-free reputation? Yeah, that just went completely out the window. Out of nowhere, Laura opened her mouth and said something so toxic about Princess Anne that it drove Prince William into an absolute wall-smashing rage. So, how do you handle a PR nightmare this massive? On the outside, the palace is doing what they always do: total radio silence. No official press releases, no frantic denials, nothing. They are just praying it blows over. But behind closed doors, it is pure chaos. Senior advisors are holding emergency meetings to stop this from fracturing the family permanently. The real tragedy here is the position it puts King Charles in. The poor guy is trapped in a brutal spot, stuck entirely between his wife's daughter and his own sister. There's no easy way out, and family loyalty is being pushed to the absolute limit. Camilla caught in the crossfire. What about Queen Camilla? Sources say she is absolutely livid with her daughter. Camilla has spent decades clawing her way up to earn the public's respect and secure her place in the family. Now, in one careless night, Laura's mouth risks tearing all of that hard work down. But there's a darker rumor floating around the palace corridors. Some royal experts suspect that Laura didn't just make this up on the fly. People think she might have accidentally said out loud what Camilla's side of the family has been whispering behind closed doors for months. If that's true, this isn't just a slip of the tongue. It's a massive systemic issue. Laura and Tom grew up completely outside the strict rules of the royal bubble. Pushing that casual lifestyle into the rigid palace hierarchy was bound to cause a massive clash eventually. And we are finally seeing the cracks show. With all this drama swirling around her name, you might expect Princess Anne to come out swinging. But this is exactly why she is a total professional. She is taking the absolute high road. Instead of playing the media game or leaking angry responses to the press, she is just showing up to work. She's carrying out her scheduled engagements like absolutely nothing happened. Honestly, that silence is louder than any press release. By completely ignoring the drama, she's proving exactly why she has the respect of the nation. Though privately, insiders say she is deeply hurt and disappointed that her decades of service were disrespected so casually by marriage relations. This whole disaster opens up a massive can of worms for the future of the British monarchy. First, it shows how incredibly hard it is for the palace to control extended family members who don't actually work for the firm. Second, it exposes a massive internal fault line between Camilla's bloodline and the traditional royals. How Charles navigates this mess going forward is going to be a massive test of his leadership. But most importantly, this gives us a massive preview of what King William's reign is going to look like. His aggressive, zero-tolerance reaction proves that when he takes the throne, he is going to enforce incredibly strict boundaries. If you don't respect the institution, you are out. Palace sources say there are only two ways this ends. Either Laura swallows her pride and issues a massive public apology to Princess Anne to smooth things over, or the family locks this down in private meetings, freezing her out of future events. But even a public apology might not be enough to fix the damage done with William. This whole mess has exposed some serious family cracks that the public was never supposed to see. Laura Lopes's comments did way more than just hurt some feelings. They triggered a full-blown institutional crisis. At the end of the day, William's intense rage isn't just about protecting his aunt. It's about drawing a hard line in the sand to protect the future of the crown. What do you think about this whole situation? Was Laura completely out of line for saying it out loud? Or do you think there's some truth to the tension? Drop your theories in the comments below. I want to hear what you think. If you enjoyed untangling this royal mess with me, give this video a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and click the notification bell so you never miss the latest updates. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.